Warning. The following podcast contains two morons talking about sophisticated subject matter, like news and hoo-has. Also a few whoopsie-daisies and at least one house or auntie. If you don't have a strong stomach, you know where the door is. Right. On with the shenanigans then.
The podcast which you are about to hear is an account of the tragedy which befell two washed-up losers. In particular, Cort Psyops and his immature co-host, Matt. It was all the more tragic in that they were uncultured morons. But had they lived very, very full lives, they could not have expected, nor would they have wished to see as much of the mad and macabre as they were to see each week. For them, an idiotic podcast show became a nightmare. The events of each week were to lead to the discovery of one of the most bizarre crimes in the annals of American history, CineMapsyOps, with Cort and Matt.
What is PSYOPs?
PSYOPs, for psychological operations, is very simply the art of influencing how people feel and think, and ultimately how they behave and what they do. You don't have to defeat the enemy on the battlefield. It's better if you can convince the enemy to do what you want him to do without having to fight him. And that's really the intent behind PSYOPs, to convince people to do what you want them to do.
So how does PSYOPs fit into what's happening now?
The 2 points I'd like to make with you and the audience is that, first and foremost, PSYOPs save lives. The second thing I'd like to tell you, a lot of people have misconception about PSYOPs. They think it's something devious and brainwashing.
You say you don't know exactly what's going on right now, but we do know that there are some PSYOPs going on, right?
Ma'am, I don't know.
CineMapsyOps.
And I believe with all of my heart that it is a contributing factor to our juvenile delinquency of today. Why I believe that is because I know how it feels. I know what it does to you.
CineMapsyOps.
They think it's something devious and brainwashing.
Welcome to the 278th episode of CineMapsyOps. I'm your host, Cort, who sounds like he's trapped inside of a percolator just saying hello to you. But joining me all the way across the city of Omaha and itching to get back into the studio and or my pants is my co-host, Matt.
I mean, I don't know if itching's the exact word I use, but it's there. It's probably there. I mean, a little ointment will clear it right up.
I mean, once you're in my pants or the studio, the itching will return, right?
There's a lot of ointment. We're gonna need a lot of ointment.
Those fuzzy fun times end up becoming more along the lines of shave it down and salve it up times later on.
Gotta get rid of crab somehow, I guess.
I'm clean.
I'm clean. We've both been married for so long. Yeah, we're clean. We talk a big game, but we are very boring people.
Yeah, we are definitely just very, very boring people, really. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I did a line of blow off a dead rhino. I can't remember it, but I do know I was with Trump Jr.
We were in Vegas, and we didn't know it at the time, but yes.
Yeah, we didn't know. I didn't know that was Donald Trump Jr., but allegedly, exactly probably happened, did snort a line of coke off a dead rhino.
And that's how the coronavirus really got spread.
Pretty much. I would not actually, I wouldn't put it past those bastards.
Oh man, I got no segues. I got nothing really all that intriguing to talk about. I've been diving into It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia again.
Oh, nice.
Well, I kind of do this thing where I let them do like 2 or 3 seasons, and then I just binge those 2 or 3 seasons, and then I just ignore them for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So like I get this like mass catch up on it and everything, but it also makes it easier that way because they reuse a lot of the same routines and jokes, and sometimes they'll even redo episodes, but like they fully admit it, and that's part of the joke, is that it's so lame when shows do this kind of stuff, but they're doing it to make fun of themselves for doing it too.
Yeah, they're They're really good. I've never gotten into it, but like every time I have watched it, I've always laughed. So it's like I should get into it, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
I actually, for the longest time, was convinced that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was just a documentary, and it just so happened that there was a guy that looked like
Danny DeVito running
in
around.
there. Yeah, because I was like, Jesus, this is it's like everybody I've ever met from Philadelphia, really.
If I really think about it, I always had the idea that like 25% of the population of Philadelphia look like Danny DeVito.
Yeah, and then like a quarter of them definitely look like Charlie Day.
Yeah. So, I mean, come on. We can't be that far off.
It is the city of brotherly love, and we can't hate on them too much because they put a big middle finger up to fascism for us, so thank you very much.
That's true. I know. A lot of the towns I like making fun out of, like, actually like, turned it around a little bit, so I gotta watch myself a little bit.
Yeah, it's a really fucking crazy world. It's like everything is just completely upside down nowadays, and what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, right.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do about it. I'm going to fucking watch movies and podcast about them every fucking week. 278 weeks and counting, as a matter of fact.
Boo daddy. Yeah.
And we were talking off mic. I'm not going to include that stuff, even though I may have recorded it on my side. We're talking on mic about future plans of finding out a way to do the show back together in studio again.
Yes.
We're trying to figure that out. So we'll see if we can get that to work out. I don't want to jump the gun on that too much, but I think we found a way to do it and be medically safe. However, you will have to do the show in under 2 hours or you will run out of air while you're here at the house. Yeah.
Well, we have the air purifiers, and then if things get too bad, I'll just freeze myself in carbonite. We'll be fine.
I think I can just encase you in old VHS tapes that are hot glued together.
Yeah, that's about all I've been doing is watching The Mandalorian, and then
okay. Spoiler alert, everybody. We gotta fucking talk about it because it finally fucking happened. Have you seen the latest one, right?
Boba Fett.
Yeah. Holy fucking Fett, man.
Boba
Holy
Fett.
fucking Fett.
Boba fucking Fett's back.
How long have we been waiting to actually see? He's this legendary badass that we've heard about forever, and we've never seen it on screen.
Always been mad about the way he died, or quote unquote died, or at least got expelled. But he, there's always been lore in books that, in fact, it was canon in the books, the expanded universe, that he blasted his way out of the Sarlacc's stomach. And his armors is what kept him alive. So, and if he blasts his way to the stomach, spent years hunting Han Solo, only to join Han Solo and take it down Han Solo's like fucking crazy cousin who was trying to get fucking total complete power. So it's a fucking weird ass story, but it's good to see Boba back. It's cool that they got the same actor who played all the clones in the Clone War.
And Jango.
And Jango Fett.
Yeah.
So far, I'm just loving the series. They have not made any real mistakes. When I saw Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, I nearly pissed myself. It was so good.
I did that geek clap thing that I like to do where I point my fingers out as far away from each other as I possibly can and just clap with my palms.
I looked at my wife and said, yeah, I have like the hardest nerd boner right now. Just the hardest.
She looked like the CG character somehow in a live action world. They did an amazing job with that. Yeah.
It was an amazing casting job. I'm loving the fact right now that it's Boba Fett and Mando. I know he has his own name. I can never pronounce it, so I just call him Mando.
It's Din. Din for short. Yeah.
Yep. Din. And they're going to be now hunting the Empire who have the child.
Yeah, I'm nerding out. I'm so nerded out so fucking hard. This is what I've been waiting for like the first season of Mandalorian for something like this to take place.
Now remember, Grogu, he sent out an alert that he's now in the universe. Who knows what else is going to go looking for him, because the only people who are going to get that alert are Jedis.
Yeah.
What was happening to him. So there's very few Jedis in the universe, and one of them's Luke Skywalker. Just saying. You never know what they could do anymore, but...
I doubt they're gonna fucking pay Mark Hamill dollars to have him guest.
Well, I don't think it will be Mark Hamill. He's too old. This is 5 years after Return, so I'm thinking... They're gonna cast a
replacement Luke, like an in-betweener Luke,
like somebody to look like him enough that'll quell the nerd hordes. But if that happens, even in like not a lot of Luke, if we even just get a little bit of Luke Skywalker, I'll be pleased by that.
I'm kind of still hoping that, is it Asaka is how her name is pronounced? I never pronounce it right either.
Ashoka.
Ashoka. I'm kind of hoping that she'll actually come back and end up being the thing where she starts training him for a little bit.
No,
I've actually heard there's going to be a series that she's going to be on her own thing. There's a spinoff, yeah.
Yeah, there's a limited series, and she's going to be hunting Thrawn, so she don't got time. And Ashoka will tell you everything you need to know. She's not a Jedi. She left the Order in the Clone Wars. So
I haven't gotten there yet in the animated series.
Yeah. I mean, in the Clone Wars series, yeah. Ooh. And she was also heavily in the Star Wars Rebels animated series, and fuck was she a badass, and she took on Vader head to head in that shit, and fuck man, it was hardcore. So I'm all for any way we can get more of her. I'm all for it because she is nothing but just badassery.
To bring it back to this show, and one of the things that we love to do is repurpose your memes. The meme where it's this giant train being pulled by this little tiny model train, and it was like the entirety of the Star Wars franchise, and like all the new movies and everything is the giant train, and then the little train that could is the Mandalorian, and it's actually pulling it along.
Yep, pretty much. I mean it is and I'm not a new movie hater. I don't hate any of the new movies that came out. I love them. I still love them to death. But you'd have to be blind not to think The Mandalorian isn't the best thing Star Wars since the original trilogy.
Well, when I said that and fully expected you to like come at me, but
yeah.
No, it's true. It is the best thing they've done. Yeah.
It's so much directly right off, not even Empire and Jedi. It's so directly right off A New Hope, in which it is a Western just in space.
It's fucking Hidden Fortress. Yeah, it's fucking Hidden Fortress in space, and it's perfect. And this last episode, or actually the two episodes ago, where Ashoka takes on the feudal Japan looking star base. That was totally a Kurosawa samurai moment, man. Like you could totally see it.
And then outside of it, you had a Western old style draw.
Well, Kurosawa was heavily influenced by Western films in what he was doing with his samurai films. It was kind of the same thing. And then people that were into making Western films got influenced by Kurosawa, so it became this circular thing. And now we have this sci-fi offshoot. And as long as Star Wars keeps tapping this mine of like the thing that made A New Hope so great, I'm happy. Like, get rid of the fucking Jedi shit, put that back in the background, and let me see the rest of the world. That's the stuff I like.
Yeah, and they're going to. I mean, of course, there's going to be some Jedis around because you got to decide what you're going to do with the child. But a lot of it is checking out this. And I love how, like, none of the characters even really know about Jedis. Like, the Mandalorian didn't really even know what a Jedi was until it was explained to him. So it just shows you how big this universe is. It's like, while we think Jedis are all well known throughout the universe, they're not. Well, and there's just some places where they're myths.
It makes sense, too, that this is like almost a whole Mandalorian review we're doing. But it makes sense in the particular extremist version of Mandalorian faith that Din was raised in. Yeah. It makes sense that they wouldn't mention Jedi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They were enemies. Yeah. You know, it's just... It's fucking, we got to get out of it because we have a whole movie that, why we're actually here. It's just one of the best things. I'm rewatching, I watch it, I rewatch it. I've watched every episode like 5 times just because I'm always catching shit. I love how they're using artwork creatures from the original Star Wars artwork in these shows. It's fucking amazing. It's just great.
It's made by fans who want to make things specifically for the fans, and that's what's best about it.
The slew of directors they've gotten for this is unbelievable.
They picked the right person for the right episode, too. Robert Rodriguez did the most action-packed episode that has ever been directed of Mandalorian yet, so yeah.
I mean, they're all great. Everything's been great, so that's what I'm doing. And also, I got into this whole Netflix conspiracy theory hole, but not like any of the bullshit, like racist ones. I'm talking about like all the fun ones, like Bigfoot, Loch Ness, aliens, like fucking ghosts, all that kind of shit. So, and presidential assassinations, the fun conspiracy theories. Before jackasses took it over, it made it so you had to believe some horse shit.
Well, those assholes have always been here. They just were hijacking your conspiracy theories more on the fringe, but they've been emboldened, and hopefully you can push them back to the fringe, and you can just enjoy your stupid shit about, aliens probing your anus.
Yeah, right? Because, that's fun. And
all right, but the movie this week is House of Seven Corpses, which we have already made the joke. It's 993 less than Rob Zombie's version.
Like I said, Rob Zombie, he went balls to the wall in the second version of this.
He added 993 more.
Yeah, I mean, holy shit. It's not even the same story. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that sequel, but fuck.
It's like he did remake this movie because it's exactly like how he remade Halloween.
Yeah. Okay, good. That was good. Nice one.
This is a star-studded cast of celebrities from a bygone era of Hollywood, so we'll kind of talk about that as we're dealing with it, but there's some real famous names from the golden age of Hollywood in this flick.
See, I didn't know any of these people.
See, I was expecting you to do some research, but clearly you didn't enjoy this one as much as you did last week, because you never do the research when you don't enjoy it.
I mean, I did a little, but I still don't recognize the names. I did research on the movie, not really the people in it.
But well, I got that covered.
You're also
so
quite right. I did not enjoy this one as much as I enjoyed the last one.
Well, Weekend Murders is kind of a hard act to follow. So
yeah.
All right, we're going to take the break here. We're going to play the Legion GoFundMe promo after I've brought everybody down and made them not want to hear the review. When we come back, we'll have a little bit of music that fits in sort of with the score for House of Seven Corpses because I couldn't get the actual score. And when we come back, we'll have the trailer.
This is Bo from LegionPodcasts.com. Hey, it's been a crazy time, and when the world gets nuts, we're happy to offer some old-fashioned podcast entertainment. But for some folks, getting a laugh out of a show isn't really helping these days. People who depend on tips in their bartending jobs or have been put on furlough with no pay till the worst of this coronavirus threat has passed. That's a tough spot. That's why we set up a GoFundMe for members of our community, a sort of grand-scale take a penny, leave a penny. For people like myself, for whom the recent disruptions haven't kicked us out of work, well, we can drop a few of those extra pennies in the GoFundMe jar. For those who are directly affected by recent events and find themselves looking for money to pay the electric bill or keep the water on, well, how about you give me a shout at Bo, B-O, at LegionPodcasts.com. Let me know the situation and what you need, and we'll do our best to make life a little easier. And you can find links to the GoFundMe on the front page of LegionPodcasts.com, on our Facebook group page, or on Twitter at Legion Podcasts, where it's the pinned tweet. For those of you who are able, thanks in advance for chipping in. And members of our community who need a hand, hey, here we are. Remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and we're all going to get through this together. Legion isn't just a name, it's who we are. Thanks for listening to all the shows here on Legion Podcasts, and we'll talk to you soon.
I searched for horror ambiance, and I feel like I've gotten it.
Yeah, that feels like it, yeah.
Definitively ambiance.
Yes, the ambiance. That sounds like something you'd hear standing in line at a haunted house.
Well, yeah.
I was about to say a horror movie that I almost combined it and said horror house. But like, well.
As long as it's on Highway 5, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, right. There you go.
But I'm not fine with this trailer.
Inside the House of Seven Corpses is buried the memory of madness. Paralyzed with fear, the visitors wait for the unknown.
This way, please.
From the shadows of the tomb, the dead are summoned to fulfill an ancient curse.
The dead rise and come to me.
A curse no one can escape.
Oh my God.
What awaits you in the House of Seven Corpses is more than a fear you can't explain.
I feel it. I feel something's gonna happen. Something terrible.
A fate you can't prevent.
You're insane.
A death you can't escape. There are 8 graves, 7 bodies, and 1 killer in the House of Seven Corpses. At the end of the last scream, death waits. The House of Seven Corpses holds a deadly secret. You must see it to believe it.
Wow. Okay, I take that back. I actually really dug that trailer, but it oversells the film.
Yeah, it really does. But it was a good trailer. I mean, that'll get you. Hey, it does what a trailer's supposed to do: get people in the seats to go see this movie. Because that sounds way awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what fucking movie I watched, but it wasn't the movie they were talking about.
Yeah, right. I don't know what movie they just were promoting. I wish I could have seen that one. I would have been probably way more into it. Way more than 3 clips. So, House of Seven Corpses. We start with the first 20 minutes. We start out with paintings of like people of this house, and then we see deaths that what looks like the peeps in the paintings, but we later find out it's not. But you don't know that. So anyway, then we see a lady. She's doing a chant, and then she hears like a zombie running about, and she runs around, and then as she's kind of at the bottom of the stairs, she shoots herself. Then a man's voice rings out and states that that's not how it happened, and we see this was a movie scene they were shooting. And the old caretaker of the place, he kind of gets the cast together and all the crew, and he's like, that's not how any of that happened. He takes a group, including a very angry director, on a tour of the house. And he points out, like, he introduces them to all the 7 family members who lived there and how they all died. And he goes through how they all fucking died. And then he shows them to a room, because you're like, when I think of restful time, I think of somebody explaining to me how everyone else who had lived in that house had died.
All right, this is obviously a low-budget film that is being made here, right?
Yeah.
I feel as though they should have still been staying off of the premises. It would have made it more eerie. They should have at least started where they weren't staying on the premises while they were shooting the film. I feel like they should have been in a hotel, and then basically they started running out of time and stuff was going wrong, so then they just decided to pull an all-night shoot, and then all of the stuff, the events of the film should have all been one night out of the course of a couple of days.
That would have been good.
Yeah, that's my first thing that I feel would have, that Cort fixes movies, armchair directing style.
Well, and also, make it seem like it's like they have to be in the castle, so it's almost like more of a trap feeling. Even though you're not trapped, you feel trapped.
Well, like the time that they're going to shoot there all night, something happens to their cars, and then everything else gets going. Something along those lines. What I feel here is like meandering and just kind of waiting for something to happen, and it just continues from here on out.
Did you really have to explain the first hour and 28 minutes of this movie? Meander and just wait for something to happen. Way to go, Cort. You just took my whole review. We could end it now.
All right, well, I'll just shut up for the rest of the review then, since I've gotten it all out and ruined the entirety of the movie. And let's go.
Yeah, all right. So anyway, after being shown to their rooms, one of the guys finds a black magic book called the Tibetan Book of the Dead. They read a few lines from it, and he goes, the director says to keep it, and they're going to use it for for chant lines in the actual movie. Then we see a couple of the actors, they're looking at this painting, and the painting has a cat in it. And one of the actresses, she has her cat with her, and the cat gets totally entranced by this, and then scratches one of the other actors.
Dude, that's fucking Grumpy Cat, face and all.
Yeah, right? No shit. Well,
like 50 years ago, Grumpy Cat.
Yeah, no shit. It's something else. And we're already going to a weird place in this. And I'm like, oh my God, Cort's the only thing he's singing is, oh, look at the kitty. Look at the kitty. Come here, kitty.
To be fair, that's pretty much every time I watch a movie and a cat's in it. Yeah. Or just see a cat in general. Yeah.
Yeah. So, then the next day, they act out more scenes, including a murder scene, and Faith, who is one of the actresses there, she actually reads some lines from the book, and that all ends. There you go. That's the first 20 minutes, and not a lot happened. I mean, you get a sense that there's some foreboding. The people who lived in that household died in very mysterious ways, but I mean,
this is one of the very first like hangout movies I can really think of where you're just kind of hanging around these characters while they're doing their stuff. Yeah. What I will say on the positive note of this is it's shot beautifully. They do some really direct motions where a lot of the story is being told through what you're seeing. The Tibetan Book of the Dead setup where they just happen to find it here, that's very clearly something that these people should not be fooling around with in this place. It's a supposedly haunted house where allegedly black magic took place. You find a book that was left behind and you decide to use that for realism. You kind of are going to get what you deserve.
Yeah, you're really not. I mean, why don't you just bring a Ouija board and then start like taking a leak on graves? I mean,
this is all stuff that I do in these kinds of places.
Well, I mean, of course you do. I mean, who do? Voodoo.
I'm that guy. I'm that guy that like cuts open the barbed wire wrapped book that's bound in human flesh and inked in human blood and sits there and reads it out loud, even though someone scrawled very deeply into the page, do not read this, do not think it, do not say it.
All right. We start the next 20 minutes and they decide they're going to wrap for the day. The assistant David tells his girlfriend, also an actress, Anne, that he'll be up later and he grabs the book. The director and cameraman, they go out and it's night and they're going to shoot some moonlight, some, just setting shots. The actor who was actually killed in the last scene, he turns in, and as he gets in, he takes off his wig and mustache so he looks very different. He gets completely drunk and leaves his room. Then we cut back to David and Anne are in bed. David reads from the book and Anne gets up and she's really pissed off. Like, she does not like this. And then they see the caretaker Price. He's in the graveyard. And as they watch him apparently enter one of the graves. Like, actually, like, just open up like a ground door and just looks like he's going downstairs. Almost like it's a panic room.
Or it's like a secret vault, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Faith is just hanging out in her room, and she's reading her lines, and her cat, they hear some noises, and the cat is not down with it, and it is kind of at the door. She goes to the door, seeing if anyone's there, and when she opens in a crack, the cat runs out. As she looks, the drunk asshole actor, well, he finds her, and he gets all rather rapey with her. Like, really rapey. Like, unfortunately rapey.
Disgustingly so.
Yeah, like, this is just not right. So, you people shouldn't be doing this.
What do you mean by you people?
What do you mean by you people?
You rapists should not be doing this.
You rapists should not be doing any of this. How dare you, sir? So luckily then the director shows back up with his crewmate. And we get a whole lot of awesome, just fucking victim blaming in our first clip.
If you didn't come by, that maniac would have raped me.
You're sure dressed for it.
Well, I was looking for Cleon. He got out of my room. He's down here someplace.
He's a big kitty now. He can take care of himself.
Eric, please.
Listen, baby, we're going to be shooting early in the morning, and you've got to get some sleep. Or there'll be bags under our bags. And there isn't enough makeup in the world to cover that up.
You still want me to be beautiful, don't you?
I always want you to be beautiful.
Was I beautiful in the first movie you put me in?
Breathtaking.
Do you still think I'm beautiful?
To me, you'll always be beautiful.
You don't.
They start making out after that, and it looks like they're going to go upstairs for a little nookie time. And then she kind of stays behind looking for the cat, so he freaks out about it and just heads upstairs. The director's not a good dude.
All right, we need to talk about there's four main, three actors from the golden age, and then one actress that is like, the other top build that was well known at the time and became more well known later on as well. The two that were in this scene, Faith Domergue, I think is how her name is pronounced. I'm reading it now because because I only knew her from one thing, and I'll get into that. The other one is John Ireland is the actor who plays the director. Now, the lady who plays Gail Dorian, I recognized her from This Island Earth. She was like the main lady in This Island Earth, one of the scientists.
Oh, wow.
The one who, like, you know, keeps running and falling down and everything, and like running from the metal mutant and being super terrified.
They just tripping over nothing.
Basically, like, just the most cliche shit you could have a female character do. They made poor Faith do in This Island Earth, which, if you have seen the MST3K full-fledged movie, the movie that they reviewed during that is This Island Earth. So it's that lady.
Oh, okay.
Now, John Ireland, on the other hand, was like pretty well known for like a shitload of fucking westerns and action films and everything like that. He had done some directing. He's done acting all over the place. I mean, he's just goes really far back. I mean, he's got like 260 some odd fucking credits on IMDb alone. So John Ireland, most people should probably recognize from something at some point. Now, everybody has to recognize John Carradine. You had to have seen him in something. I mean, even if it's just The Howling, you know, John Carradine's the caretaker, and he was the old guy in The Howling that was complaining about how he's lost his teeth and he doesn't want to live anymore. John Carradine has been in a shitload of stuff on stage and screen as well. I mean, like 10 Commandments, tons of like Universal Monster movies. He took over for Dracula for a while for Lugosi in the Universal series towards the end of those run and stuff like that. He goes that far back to like the 40s and 50s. And more importantly, to me, John Carradine sired several of the Carradine children that we now watch on TV, including Mr. Kung Fu himself, David Carradine.
Oh, okay.
The main nerd in Revenge of the Nerds, that's one of the Carradine siblings.
Jesus.
And then the sister, Eva, I believe is her name. She was in, if you watched Eureka, she played the sheriff's estranged hippie sister that kept showing up and annoying him in Eureka.
I never watched Eureka.
You should. You would probably love it. Anyway, that's the actors and actresses. And there's a bunch of other people that you would probably recognize from other movies and things like that. And while the film itself is meandering and taking its goddamn time, these actors are chewing the scenery and making everything they can out of their dialogue. And you even hear it in that clip. Like, every ounce of pettiness that guy playing Eric, that John Ireland can put into everything that Eric says, he truly does. He is such a shallow, scared little boy of a man that even the slightest bit of, hey, can you just help me look for my cat, that disappoints him that he's not immediately going to get laid, makes him just abandon the woman who almost was sexually assaulted.
And he still also almost blamed her for getting almost sexually assaulted.
Yeah, he victim blamed her for what happened here when she was walking around in a very modest bathrobe that was tightly tied. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that's that she could be, you know, I mean, yeah, it was such a little bathrobe. What the fuck? I mean, not little, big. I mean, it was a fucking robe.
It probably could have fit me and Matt inside of it, and it was wrapped around her twice.
I've seen Jedi robes more revealing, for fuck's sake.
And we're full circle, so now that talk actually means something.
There you go.
But anyway, let's continue. I just wanted to kind of bring that up, talk about the actors and the actresses, because it is one of the plus sides to this film. While it takes a really long time to do what it's doing, if you're okay with sitting and having a hangout film, you will really enjoy the work that these actors are doing.
Yes. So, after that, the director runs into Annie and David as they're out, and they talk about how they saw the caretaker in the graveyard, and they asked if he had seen him, and he said not only had he seen him, he's like, I asked him to do it. And they're amazed. They're like, you asked him? And they're like, yeah. And he goes, if he's gonna be lurking around the set, might as well like put him to work and stuff. So, and then they go, okay, so did you also have him go inside the grave? And he was like, what? And he's like, I never asked him to do that. So now they all kind of got a little like creeped out.
See, if this director,
what's going on?
Yeah, if this director was the scumbag that they're trying to make him out to be, he'd be like, wait, you can open up something and go into the graveyard? We are totally putting that in the film.
Right? Yeah. Jeez, why didn't anybody tell me this? Let's go kill this. You know?
Not necessarily kill the guy, but they're like, let's see if he can show us how to open it up, and let's film people going in and coming out of that shit at least, because that's awesome.
That would make sense.
Yeah, that's like the first thing that happened in the movie that I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. What's going to happen with that? Spoiler alert, nothing.
And nothing happened with that.
But it was fucking awesome. The guy opened up some weird hatch door like in the middle of a fucking small 7-person graveyard, and I'm down.
Yeah, it was a really cool scene. So then, the next day, shooting, while Faith is acting, she's walking through like this water sprinkler type thing. And as she's walking, she screams. And David actually goes, well, that's real. And they find her cat ripped in half on the lawn. Jesus.
Like, yeah, that sucked.
That wasn't fucking necessary at all.
It's obviously a very, very fake cat that looked nothing like her actual cat. It was just something that they used as a prop.
Yeah, it was a prop, but it just sucks because,
Yeah, something ripped a fucking cat in half, and it looked pretty fucking realistic, even though it didn't look anything like her cat. I mean, it still had guts and stuff coming out. It was pretty well done, and the actress fucking sells it. The shock and horror on her face and the screaming she does, it breaks your fucking heart. And this film fucking went there. And I feel like my dislike for this movie branched from this moment, and I just never gave it another chance.
It was and so the director then gets pissed off, and he goes looking for Price, who they've decided to, he was like, it's got to be the caretaker. So he goes looking through his room, and he actually finds, as he's checking his room, we see Price crawling back into the grave part. Eric finds a gun in the room, and he takes that, and he has that as a weapon now. Then Price walks in, and that's our next clip.
If you're looking for the silver, it's in the main house.
Mr. Price, this is the last time you'll interfere with my filming.
Are you mad I haven't been near your filming?
Stop playing games. Why did you kill that cat?
What?
Sometime last night, half of Miss Dorian's cat was neatly deposited on the lawn.
Are you accusing me of this vulgarity?
Part of a headstone was found nearby. I took it to be your calling card.
A headstone? Was there a name?
No.
Sure? No name on the headstone?
None. I didn't expect you'd sign it.
You're insane.
Am I? What are you doing with that chisel? Baking a cake?
Obviously, you'll give me no peace until you've ransacked my entire house. Close the door.
Your own private elevator, huh, Price? Saves wear and tear on the old back.
Don't scoff at things you know nothing about.
What's there to know about headstones except death?
That's only part of it. The other part is graves, Mr. Hartman. Graves.
Now what are you talking about?
There are 8 graves in the Beale family plot, Mr. Hartman. Only 7 headstones.
We'll make another one.
I would, but I haven't been able to find out whose grave it is.
Now that is one momentous problem. Nice place you have here. Your family room?
Strange things have happened here, Mr. Hartman. Unimaginable things.
That's why I'm making my picture here, Price. Other than that, I don't give a damn.
Mr. Hartman, Mrs. Beale was experimenting with the occult when she died. Her death was no ordinary suicide, I assure you. What you're doing here, the subject matter of your film, whatever, I believe you to be in great danger yourself.
Price, I've made a lot of films, mostly about witchcraft. And you and I both know that it's all a lot of crap.
Perhaps not. But there are signs, Mr. Hartman. I've seen them. This cat that was killed.
What is it, Price? The devil? Did the devil kill the cat? Or maybe a ghost or a vampire? Or what about you?
I should have realized it would do no good to try to talk to you.
I'm glad we both understand each other.
Since you found your own way in, I'm sure you can manage to find your own way out.
I'll do that.
Good day, sir.
And you stay off my set.
Trying to out-creep each other.
I know. And I said good day. Good day, sir. So, and that kind of ends that 20 minutes. So we've had a little more, action at least.
The discussion that's going back and forth between John Carradine's character and John Ireland's character really just kind of encapsulates what the film's trying to do with it here, where they're like, trust us, there are signs of evil things going on. We just found a dead cat. You know, that's, it's not necessarily the devil. It's not necessarily a vampire. What could it possibly be? They hint at things and try to like set it up that maybe something's there. And they're trying to rely on like this dread and sense of, impending doom that's supposed to be building, but the film doesn't really do anything to ratchet up the tension. And would you be surprised to hear that this is the only time the person that made this film has directed a film, Matt?
No, I would not be surprised. That makes complete sense.
Yeah, this is their only film, and I can kind of see what they were trying to do, but it doesn't quite work. There's really no tension here. You're just hanging out with various characters. There's some interactions that are cringy and make you uncomfortable, but then we immediately go somewhere else, and then there's really no tension being built. There's no sense of impending doom, and it just turns out that walking into the gravestone thing meant nothing at all.
Yeah.
Like there's not really anything there.
Of course not.
And then the chunk of gravestone doesn't matter because there's a gravestone missing. There's technically a house of 8 corpses, but only 7 of them have headstones.
So that's 992 corpses less than Rob Zombie's.
Right.
Yeah. We just didn't do the math right. So.
Well, they say 7 corpses, but then they tell us 8 now. We just now found out that there are 8 graves.
Yeah, it's horseshit. I don't know. Maybe their math is wrong.
We'll see.
All right, so we start the next 20 minutes. Eric rejoins the group, and he finds out Faith is leaving. She's done. She's packing up. She's had enough of all this horse shit. So Eric goes up and admonishes her, and actually that's our final clip.
No need for a scene, Eric. I just can't take this place anymore. This house, this movie, I just can't stand it another minute. I'm going back to Hollywood if I have to hitchhike.
Okay, baby. I understand. In the meantime, what am I supposed to do with my movie?
Well, get a new ending. Do it on a set. I don't care, Eric. I just want to go home.
Do it on the set. Baby, we gotta finish this picture tonight, here. You know what it would cost me to move into the studio and build a set? I gotta bring this in for a price.
No, money. Is that all you can think about? What about me? I tell you, I feel threatened and I can't stand it another minute.
Same old ego still working, huh? I. Everything for Gail, the hell with everyone else.
Oh, Eric, you don't have to...
Listen, baby. What you're pulling might have worked in the studios 10 years ago, but not here and not now. And sure as hell not on my picture.
Eric, you're hurting me.
Go on, leave. But you're walking, all right. And when you get there, you're going to find out just how tough it is for a middle-aged beauty queen to get a job in the acting profession. Or even in the profession I first found you in. I'll expect you on the set in 10 minutes. In your wardrobe.
Dude, Eric is an asshole!
Dude, Eric is a dick! Oh, man, a dick.
We have not had a scumbag of this caliber on the show in a while.
It's been a long while, that is for damn sure. And yeah, so, I mean, what are you assuming? She was an escort, probably?
I think that's what he's getting at, yeah.
Yeah.
And that she lucked into acting because he's been putting her in movies because they're in a relationship together, and that's all sorts of fucking cringy just thinking about that.
Yeah, I mean, holy shit.
He so degrades her, and he's supposed to be like together with her, and he's calling her baby at the start of the film, and he's clearly just treating her like fucking property, and it's just gross.
Right? It's just gross and disgusting. Fuck you, Eric. So,
yeah,
they shoot more scenes, including another death scene, and a lot of this is just shooting scenes, and it kind of gets in there. We understand you're shooting a movie. So then David decides to read from the book, the Tibetan death book, to Anne. As he reads the lines, the ground around the grave starts to shake, and we see a dead hand start rising. The caretaker, he starts to hear the rumble and is wondering what's going on. So then they all decide to shoot the next scene, and Faith again starts reading from the book. And again, this causes the graves to rumble. And it's like the phrase they keep reading is like, dead rise and come to me, or that something like that, right?
Yeah, so. It really reminded me of the exorcism for ghosts that's in the handbook of the recently deceased. Deceased. Yeah. That Otho reads at the end of Beetlejuice, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
Very similar to that, and it was delivered almost the same.
That thing just reads like stereo instructions.
Oddly enough, I have no problem understanding stereo instructions, which is probably why I'm not afraid of those kind of texts.
Yeah, right? You'd be like, all right, I get this figured out. We're fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. I mean, parameters vary from manifestation to manifestation, which basically means we don't really know how far you can go. You got to have to look through your own boundaries because every manifestation is different.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not that hard to understand the handbook for the recently deceased. Sorry.
Deceased. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. The handbook for the recently diseased is quite more. It's stay inside.
Also, for some of us, it might just mean you need a shot of penicillin.
Yeah. Oh, that too. So, Anyway, the caretaker hears the rumbles, like I said. The face reads, and we see the more graves are being, rumbling there. The caretaker, he does go outside, he checks them out. We see a hand start to come out. We see more of the scene that's being shot with Faith and Anne as they are raising their dead co-star, the rapey co-star. He's in the movie is being raised. In the movie they're shooting is being raised from the dead. He's raising. We see the hand grab the caretaker and strangles him to death. And the scene finishes with the zombie killing both the women. And then we go launching into our final 20 minutes.
That was quick. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, it's a quick movie. This movie goes quick. I will say that. It does not go long.
Yeah, it's 88 minutes, but you feel most of it.
You feel a lot of it. It's just how it goes.
Once we get to the part where they actually, like the fight that happens and the one co-star tries to rape our main female character, like once that starts happening that night, moving on, it speeds up significantly.
It does.
But it's like half the film. You have to wait half the film before things start moving.
Yeah, you really do. So the final 20 minutes get going, and they finish the scene, and we see the zombies walking off away from the dead caretaker. They're gonna shoot some. Now that this is the end of the movie. And Faith wants to leave, but Eric's like, no, we have to stay the night because we have to shoot grave stuff and get more ambiance. But after that, we can leave in the morning. So the crew starts breaking down the set, and we see the Z walking around. One guy, he takes some stuff outside to throw into the van, and we hear him scream as the zombie approaches. Then the zombie walks into the house, and he kills 2 of the other crew members. Eric and David, they're preparing to shoot the graveyard, and we see the zombie walking upstairs. Anne is getting a shower as she's kind of all bloody from her scene.
Which we don't see anything. It's just
you don't
a
see
tease.
nothing.
Yeah, this is a PG movie.
Tease. Yeah. Faith hears some noise. She goes to check it out, and she sees the zombie and screams and runs. The older actor hears the screaming and thinks that, maybe she found the other half of her dead cat, and he decides he's going to pay his his respect, so he leaves his room. Faith, she goes to Eric's room and finds the gun that Eric had found. She's going through the house, and she sees a figure, and she shoots. This alerts Anne, who's getting out of the shower, drying off. She hears the gunshots. She keeps shooting, and we see the person who she shot was actually the actor.
Was that easy to tell for you from the print that you had of it, or?
Yeah, that it was him, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You see it after, the first shot, he's stumbling around.
Right. It was pretty obvious to me as well. And I just got to talk, the zombie makeup they did on him, in their movie, that character makeup that made him look like old school ghoul, that was all just grease paint, looked pretty fucking awesome, and whoever did that
I thought it looked
job.
Really good. Yeah. He looked like a better zombie than the actual zombies.
Oh, let's move on.
Well, for my taste. How about that? Because that's all subjective.
Okay, we'll just move on.
Yeah, we'll move on. I don't want you to get mad. That's not from me out. So Faith is shocked as to what she sees. She starts she's crying because she didn't mean to kill this guy. She thought she was firing at zombie. She stumbles into a black doorway, and we see the zombie's arms envelop her. And then gets up. She goes looking around, and she finds Faith hanging there dead. She's been hung, and she passes out as the zombie moans.
So she was hung just like the woman that she was playing died.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. As Eric and David shoot the graves, they find the caretaker dead. Then David, they see an open grave, and David gets all real pushy with Eric, saying he wants him to go take a look, and he keeps trying to push him in there. Well, this causes a fight, and we don't know why, but all of a sudden, David's just fucking lost it. They fight some more, and then Eric does a fucking Captain Kirk type kickflip.
Double boot
David.
kick.
Yeah, fucking kicking him right into the open grave. Eric then finds that this particular grave has David's name on it.
Dun, dun, dun!
Then we see a zombie David emerging from the grave. So he's all decomposed and everything. So
was this the makeup you were saying that the grease paint looked better than?
Yes.
I agree.
Okay. Eric runs away, and as he's running, he turns into your old 80s movie female lead and trips and hits his own head because he's been tripping.
Oh,
so
move on.
So he hits his head. Eric comes back too. He gets up and he starts, he finds his first dead crew member, and then he goes inside the house, finds the other 2 dead crew members. As he freaks out even more, he sees his entire film has been ruined.
That's the only thing that he cares about, though. He doesn't cry about anything else. He's upset that he lost his film.
I will say this. I'll defend him. He was crying about finding the dead crew members. He was very sad about it. I have to give him that. But he freaked out more about finding the exposed film.
Yeah, he was way more upset about having his film destroyed than anything else.
And he asked, why, what did I do? And it's like, well, you've been kind of an asshole. And as he's asking why, we see Zombie David throw a huge camera over a ledge, from a stairwell, and it drops, killing Eric.
That was a great shot, watching that track down. That was cool.
Zombie David, then he kind of walks over a bridge and he sees Anne dead floating down a stream. Zombie David picks her up, takes her back to his grave. Roll credits.
Okay, so was David dead the whole time and then tricked them all here so that he could kill them? Like, does the film ever explain that?
It never explains it, but here is my own thought on it.
Okay, you give me your interpretation and I'll see if I agree with you.
David was very into the Tibetan Book of the Dead. He started reading it. He read it more than anybody else. And just because he didn't say the lines out loud, he was saying it to himself. And I believe he read some sort of passage that turned him into a crazed person and then turned him into a zombie. And then the unmarked grave that the caretaker couldn't place became his grave, and so it was supernaturally done.
Huh.
You give me a better idea, then there you go. But I don't think David was always a zombie because he's had a girlfriend for a long time. I believe he just fucking read the wrong passage from a bad book and it turned him fucking wonky.
Well, David was reading from the book out loud before he got interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that David was replaced by some kind of a spirit from the other side that's one of the dead in the house. And so found a way to make the actual dead person rise. Their name just happened to be David, but the other David was a David from the other time frame in this house. It wasn't like the same person, and I don't think it was like a reincarnation or anything like that. I just think that it just so happened that both their names were David. The other thing I think the film was trying to imply is that his spirit went out, had a girlfriend for like ever, and brought them all back, or he's raised from the dead and he has to keep killing the same amount of people to stay fresh, raised from the dead, so he tricked them all back or something like that. The film doesn't really explain it. It's open to interpretation.
It's very open to interpretation because I'm just like, when David went crazy, I sat there, I'm like, why is David going crazy? What's up, Doc?
And if you look too, he sees the body, like when they're getting ready to set up and film, and when he's moving the light, he clearly sees the body. He looks right at it. He looks at the director and waits for the director to notice it. So it's obvious that his character is off because he's fucking around with him in some way, shape, or form at the very start of that scene.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking the night before, whenever he starts reading the book and then before they go to film the scene and then they're shooting it, like, and he's nowhere to be seen. So maybe he's already gone and his soul is the thing that's bringing back the ghoul look like creature that kills everybody else. I don't know. I just feel like it's a hodgepodge of ideas that they didn't really fully explore or do anything with. They rely very heavily on atmosphere, but it spends too much time as a hangout film to really make creepy atmosphere and just an impending sense of doom really build and all of that. It's real uneven, and it's like a bunch of different ideas that don't quite work together. But the thing that makes me enjoy this, and the thing that makes me glad that I have it on Blu-ray, is the cinematography. And I really love the interaction between the actors. They really go for it with their dialogue, and they're really trying to project and make you feel something in the moments that they're talking or arguing and being petty and bitchy. Everything about those people when they're doing their scenes, like every single individual person that's in this film, when they are interacting with each other, the cringy moments are super fucking cringy and they work.
Yeah, they're really They got a lot of problems.
Yeah, everybody's kind of a piece of shit in this film in some way, shape, or form.
Except for, you know what, David and Ann aren't.
Well, David ended up being.
Well, he just went crazy because of the fucking movie. Or the movie, because of the fucking book. And, okay, then if you even take out David, Ann's probably an okay person. Even the set guys weren't bad dudes. I mean, they didn't do anything bad to anybody. But the director was a piece of shit. Even Faith is just an aging woman in Hollywood, and you know that's never a good thing, even to this day for women.
I did sympathize with
things.
I did sympathize with Anne. She's probably the one character, but I just felt
Faith,
like all of the.
I sympathize with Faith too, because she was obviously in an abusive relationship with that director.
Yeah, I do sympathize with both the female characters, but there's not a single male character that I really even liked, and I feel like they're all just kind of doing something grifty and shady. Like everybody feels greasy on screen.
Yeah,
the two female actors
didn't to me until
less.
the end, but
yeah, well. I don't know. I'm just trying to find something else to really discuss about the film because we just now hit an hour, and I'm kind of running out of stuff. There's not a lot to it. It's all atmosphere and scenery, and that's all gorgeous. But you have to see it to really like talking about that.
You have to, but I will say that do you think they actually shot in a castle, or do you think that was just a Hollywood set?
They actually shot in Salt Lake City, Utah, for this film, and I believe that was a really palatial estate. It was a historical site as well, because it looked like it was someplace in England in the exteriors, but it wasn't.
It was really cool looking. There's absolutely no problems with that. Great scenery. The story did just lack, though.
Yeah, there wasn't really much to it, and it meanders the whole goddamn film, and it doesn't really start picking up till over halfway through, and even then, it doesn't really pick up the pace enough to make up for the meandering at the beginning. It's not a slow burn. It's like a can't get the fucking log to light.
Yeah, I had to, man, that was a rough way to try to get even 3 clips out of this.
Yeah,
there's no real dialogue. It's a very heavily visual flick.
Yeah.
For a first-time director, not bad. If you'd have told me this guy had directed many movies, I'd have been like, well, then this is bad. But for a first-time director, not bad. Cinematography was pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of the shots were really well done. Yeah, there's just not much to the story, and that's unfortunately that happens with a lot of.
And then a lot of holes to the story. You know, why is David gone crazy?
Yeah,
at least maybe show him reading something that caused him to go crazy or something like that. It just out of nowhere he just goes crazy. He doesn't even have a slow build to crazy. Like he acts differently around Anne or around other people, and they're like, I wonder what's wrong with David. It's just fully him. One minute he's normal and the next minute he's fucking nuts, and you just got to sit there and go, okay, we need a little bit more build up. Okay, so the story had holes. First time director, you get it. However, they nailed it on cinematography. Great shots, and the acting for what the actors got, I thought was pretty good.
I also just want to point out this is a PG-rated film from 1974, and it feels very much like the kind of thing where if I would have caught it on a Sunday afternoon TV broadcast, I would have sat through the entire thing and watched it, build up with whatever I had gotten after church lunch-wise, and just really enjoyed it, and maybe even sort of tried not to fall asleep until after it was over kind of deal. Like, that's the kind of movie it is. A rainy day, midday afternoon
lazy
film.
Sunday?
Yeah, a nice lazy Saturday or Sunday afternoon movie when it's raining outside kind of film. Like, you would have no complaints watching it like that.
No, I wouldn't at all. I think it would be good.
Yeah, and the cinematography would keep you definitely busy and everything, and that's basically the gist of the entirety of the film. I mean, it's shot beautifully. There's some really great moments with the actors. There's some real greasy stuff that kind of sink your teeth into for entertainment, and it still ends up being PG, and you could put it on broadcast TV.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, not much else to say about it.
Nope. That's exactly why we're going to take the break right now. We're going to play the promo for Greek Radio Daily. I guess that's going to be the new promo. I'm going to jam down everybody's throats without their consent.
Yeah, all right.
Well, they listen to the show, so that's kind of a consent.
Yeah, they know what they got themselves into.
And when we come back, we'll have a little bit more music that is befitting of the house of 7 or 8 corpses.
Like maybe it's 7.5.
Well, now it's like 7 more, so it's like 14 or 15.
Did we divide by 2 yet?
Just don't do it by 0 because that never works.
I hate algebra.
Are you having trouble keeping up with the ebbs and flows of modern geekery? Is the real world holding you back from knowing what is happening in the geeky world? To answer these and other personal problems brought in by your friends, gaming group, and loved ones, Geek Radio Daily presents daily informational sessions brought to you by the wonderful Billy Flynn, The Flinstress, and podcasting's Rich Siegfried. They contain such helpful segments as history, geek birthdays, box office results, the latest in DVD and Blu-ray, video game and comic releases. Why, they also have a Sweekly show hosted by the wonderful Billy Flynn and the Flinstress, which includes interviews and commentary. And to make sure you are informed, Geek Radio Daily also provides you with your daily dose of geek news to make sure you know more than that jerk know-it-all Steve. Visit us at geekradiodaily.com. That's right, Geek Radio Daily. All the geek without the weight. Now available in fine Corinthian leather.
So that's music that fits with House of the 17 Corpses.
The House of 2 divided by 4 and A equals X for X is 6 corpses.
That is the closest to math Matt has ever done.
My head hurts.
Well, it's time to get rid of that headache by giving me some psyop news.
This one comes from our man, Chris Mounts.
Yeah, our other Cub field reporter, right?
Yes. And that is Hungarian, anti-gay Hungarian politician has resigned after being caught by police fleeing a 25-man orgy through a window.
I've had 7 dicks inside of me. I'm homosexual. I'm taking another dick. Come into me!
This is a 20... a 25-man one.
Yeah, but I mean,
anyway,
what I'm getting at here is that whole thing is basically that guy's in the closet and being like such a homophobic anti-gay activist, and turns out
I'm homosexual.
Pretty much. So, let me get into this here.
So it was 25? It was 25
Yeah,
people.
it was anti-gay Hungarian. He resigned after being caught by police fleeing a 25-man orgy through a window.
Everyone will be coming on my face.
Every one of the 25?
I guess that's what he probably wanted. So a member of the European Parliament representing Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban's Fidesz party has resigned from his position in Brussels after he was caught leaving what reports described as a 25-man orgy on Friday.
Always looking for wang. And we're back to dicks.
Joseph Salazar, or Sezger, I don't know. He resigned on Sunday after he admitted to breaching Belgium's strict lockdown rules to attend a sex party, Politico reported on Tuesday. The police found 25 naked men at the gathering, including Sezger and some diplomats.
Everyone will be coming on my face.
A Belgian newspaper reported. The newspaper quoted the local police force as saying, we interrupted a gangbang.
Entering your rectal passage.
Orban's Hungarian government has curtailed LGBTQ rights since he was elected prime minister in 2010. Sezger, who fronted Fidesz in the European Parliament, helped rewrite Hungary's constitution to protect the institution of marriage as a union of a man and a woman.
My asshole actually sweat.
Sezger, a right-wing politician and ally of Orban, climbed out of a first-floor window and was spotted fleeing along the gutter. The public prosecutor's office has said a source close to the investigation told Politico that officers were called after a complaint about a nighttime disturbance. Authorities said that narcotics were found in Salger's bag. Salger insisted that he had not taken drugs. Yet. He should add yet.
God doesn't see when you do anal, because I like abuse and free drugs.
Okay. Well, yeah. So authorities say, the public prosecutor's office said a passerby reported to the police that he had seen a man fleeing along the gutter. He was able to identify the man. The man's hands were bloody. It is possible he may have been injured while fleeing. Narcotics were found in his backpack. The man is unable to produce any identifying documents. He was escorted to his place of residence, where he identified himself as SJ by means of a diplomatic passport. Holy shit. Salazar said on Tuesday that he was present at a private party and apologized after police asked for my identity since I did not have my ID on me.
Does this make me gay?
He also said.
I declared I was a MEP, he said. The police continued to process and finally issued an official verbal warning and transported the man home.
All cops are bumbling dummies.
He states he deeply regrets violating the COVID restrictions. It was irresponsible on his part, and he is ready to stand for the fine that occurs.
Man, that's just the worst hand job ever.
He asks everyone not to extend it to his homeland or his political community.
I mean, they're lesbian vampires. Why would they want to put their teeth in man meat?
You know what, though? That's God honestly right. Why would they?
I hooked up with a bad boy.
Yeah, I mean, there is some people who like that. So bad boys and shit like that. I mean, that's pretty much how Cort got all the women.
Because I like abuse and free drugs.
Yes. So let's see here. And yes, so that's the end of that story. So again, another conservative politician. It's not just happening in America, it happens everywhere. Another conservative politician who, thinks gay people are dangerous, turns out to be gay themselves.
Yeah, probably your typical closet self-loather, like Lindsey Graham. Excuse me.
Pissed that others get to live out full, fulfilling, authentic lives, and so they have to ruin that for them, because if they can't, well, then neither can anyone else.
Yeah.
Which makes them, I don't feel bad for those type of people, makes them even bigger assholes.
Kind of.
This is one I just found on my own.
This one just in from our very own Matt Psyop.
From The Guardian, Christian group tears down mysterious monolith on California mountain.
I think Darren or someone in our
Darren
group
did post this. Yes.
Okay, Darren posted this. In our group,
I just found this as well, but yeah, Darren, give him credit. He did post this.
Yeah, this is fucked up.
Yeah. A group of young men claimed to be Christians have posted a video, and guess what hats they were wearing? I'll give you 3 guesses. You only need 1.
MAGA.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This is like Traces of Death fucked to porno.
Yeah, a group of young men claiming to be Christians have posted a video of themselves tearing down a mysterious monolith.
America is a bunch of cunts.
Atop California mountain and replacing it with a cross. The monolith had been built near the town of Astracradio. What? Who would live there? I don't even know how to spell that. And, or pronounce it. I can spell it now because I see it, but I can't pronounce it.
A jizz drinking game.
It sparked huge interest after appearance of a similar silvery metal-faced monolith that had been discovered in the deserts of Utah. That original monolith, which attracted hundreds of curious sightseers and garnered headlines worldwide, was also destroyed by visitors who were captured, taking it down, and carrying it away by an observer's mobile phone video.
That cock and shit's like metal.
Now, the California monolith has met a similar kind of fate, according to a report in the San Luis Tribune. In a video which was live streamed and posted online, the group of young men drive from Southern California to tear down the structure under cover of darkness. They hike up to the structure and tear it down while chanting, "Christ is King." They then erect a homemade wooden cross in its place to drag the remains of the monolith down the mountain to their car. During the video, the men also make offensive comments and drink substantial quantities of energy drinks while also referencing Donald Trump and QAnon conspiracy theory, and their mission is to demonstrate how much we love Jesus Christ.
It's micro penis time.
The vandalism has now angered local officials.
It's micro penis time.
Hey, fuckers, religion's bullshit. God's not real.
We are upset that these young men felt the need to drive 5 hours to come into our community and vandalize the monolith. the mayor, Heather Moreno, has said, the monolith is something unique and fun in an otherwise stressful time. So, again, Trumpers just got to ruin anything that's a good time.
So we're going to be pushing the Christian agenda right down your fucking throat.
Apparently. I mean, what a bunch of fucking just the worst.
Pray to God. That's what assholes do.
If you pray, you're an asshole.
I mean, holy fuck, dude. Just, I mean, they can't ever just let people have fun.
These guys were also doing videos and stunt videos of some sort. I read this in another article. I think it's in the one that Darren posted. There's a little bit more about like the actual guys that are pulling this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They've been arrested for like burning crosses and shit, or they had media taken down because they were burning crosses and were videoing it. So they're very clearly white Christian nationalists.
Oh, yeah.
The very, very special offshoot of white nationalists that's even fucking worse because they're justifying the Christianity.
Somehow they're more fucking annoying and more disgusting.
Somehow. Yeah.
Ugh. Jesus.
But
I should have led with that one and ended with the 25-man gay orgy. At least some people are having fun in that one.
I mean, you're bound to have people having fun when there's 25 gay men having an orgy.
I mean, right? I mean,
also, that's
somebody
a clip.
Who brought the snacks?
I don't know, but they were a godsend. I could use a sandwich. And on that more upbeat note, we're going to play the ending Legion promo, and we're going to have a little bit more music when we come back that fits with the film. House of 15-ish corpses, maybe? Carry the one?
No,
and
I believe it's House of 26 divided by 2 times X, where Y equals 7 corpses.
Yeah, and then when we come back, we'll close out this show.
If you enjoyed this show, then make sure you check out the other great shows on the Legion Podcast Network, like Cinema Psyops, Cinema Beef, Devour the Podcast, Duncan and Bo Come Correct, Exploding Heads Horror Movie Podcast, Friday the 13th, Get Slayed, The Hellming Power Hour, Hello, This is the Doom Show, Hero Hero Ghost Show, Kill the Cast, Underwater Kaiju from Outer Space, Jerry Hates Action, Legion After Dark, Mental Health, Obsessive Cinema, Discourse, Pick 6 Movies, the podcast by The Cemetery, the podcast on Haunted Hill, the Psychosemantic Podcast, Rick Radio, House of Wax, Dude Looks Like the 80s, Rabbit and Red Radio, the Shadecast, Short Bus Cinema, 2 Drink Minimum Commentaries, the VD Clinic, Who Will Survive Horror Podcast, and Witch vs. the Doomsday Clock. With such a wide spread of shows, there is guaranteed to be a niche for you to fall in love with. Horror, politics, movies, books, sex, music, commentaries, health, video games, kaiju, action, news, comedy, and opinions that would most likely get you killed in some parts of the world. We are proud to bring you some of the best podcasting in the world. Check us out at www.legionpodcast.com, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and any other dark corner of the internet where podcasts can be found.
This is vastly shaping up to be a fucking episode where we're just trying to fill in a week because we can't skip a week like Mitchum.
Yeah, right. I mean, sometimes, guys, you're gonna have really great movies we're gonna really be able to get into. Other times, it's this.
Sometimes we'll have a movie that we absolutely hate, but while we're reviewing it, decide we absolutely love it. Like Horror House on Highway 5.
Well, or, if we really, really hate it, at least it's entertaining because we're talking about how much we hate it.
Like Veronica.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this didn't elicit any emotional response.
Which is almost the worst thing a movie can do, is to just leave you completely unaffected by it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a sad, sad thing.
Well, if you'd like to experience more sad and tragic things, I highly recommend checking out our main landing and launching page, legionpodcast.com/cinema-psyops. The most tragic sadness on display at all times on our previous 277 episodes of us screaming into the void, begging for some kind of self-congratulatory recognition.
Just wish somebody would love me.
Validate us, please. We need external validation. One place that you can give us said external validation is our Facebook group, CineMaPsyOps. You can also find us on Facebook. I am Cort Psyops if you would like to externally validate me there. You can also externally validate Matt as Matt Psyop on Facebook. You could also reach us via email. You can email your external validation feedback to Matt, psyopmatt@gmail.com. Let him know he's doing an okay job and that he should be proud of the work he does for CineMaPsyOps.
Just somebody help me.
You can email feedback to Cort, cinemapsyopscort@gmail.com, and externally validate him there, and no, he's not talking sexually because his wife would not be down with that.
No, that would probably not be a good thing for you.
You can also twit a couple of tweets on the hate-filled shitfest that's getting better every day. I follow more and more porn bots. That is Twitter.
I mean, if you just stick to the porn bots on Twitter, you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, it's actually kind of fun that way. I am at Cort_Psyop there, and he is at psyopmatt. We are also available on the gram of Insta, where the porn bots are directing me to various pages in OnlyFans, and then people that are on Instagram, and then the Instagram people are having me follow them on Twitter, back and forth.
Because they know you're only following porn bots on Twitter.
Well, kind of. It's this endless, vicious cycle of just nudity that's awesome. And we are cinema_psyops there, and we are participating in all of that. And by we, I mean me, because Matt won't be held responsible for my heinous action.
No, I can't. That's just clocking out of that one.
Well, since Matt's clocking out, I suggest it's time for the rest of us just to clock the fuck out and then kick the fuck out of this week and make it your bitch. Hello.
All right. Sound like you just hit yourself in the head on that one.
That is because I hit my pop filter, the little rod that sticks out on the pop filter on the way down, and it made that noise.
Oh, you're hitting your rod, huh? Nice, nice. In the studio. I mean, I'd take full advantage if I wasn't there, too.
Are you rolling on your side?
Oh, sorry. I am now rolling on my side. 1, 2, 3.
All right, I changed up the list just a little bit to basically get the stuff that's still on the G drive cleared off so that I can load up other things.
Okay.
Because I'm petty like that, and you still haven't downloaded that shit?
My bad. But I did reply to Darren this over the weekend.
Holy shit!
Yeah. I might be doing a show Saturday night.
All right, awesome. I think I'm recording another show with him on Friday, so there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll be getting him from both ends of the weekend.
Yeah, we'll be Eiffel Towery Darren. It'll be nice.
This is so going out on the podways that he'll actually laugh at that, though.
Yeah.
All right, I just want to make sure you definitely watched House of 7 Corpses.
Yes, I watched House of 7 Corpses.
Yeah, this is 993 short of 1,000.
Yeah, Rob Zombie really outdid himself with the last one. He probably could have left a few corpses out of it.
How long have you been sitting on that, like waiting to drop that on the show?
I literally just came up with that one, I swear to God. It literally just flew off the top of my brain.
All right, well, I got your 3 clips. I've got...
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of clippage.
I've got the trailer and everything. I think we are good to go. So let's not tarry and let's get this evening going.
Let's hit it.
All right, here we go. I'm that guy that cuts open the barbed wire wrapped book that's bound in human flesh and inked in human blood and sits there and reads it out loud, even though someone scrawled very deeply into the page, "Do not read this, do not think it, do not say it." Yeah,
and if you're ever wondering, hey, why is the world ending? Probably Cort opened up a book he wasn't supposed to open. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, true. But that would require God to be real, so that wasn't me.
Well, but I'm not saying it's a God thing. Maybe it's just some ancient evil. There's, could be a whole lot of weird shit going on.
I prefer pan-dimensional beings.
Pan-dimensional beings? Gotcha. Wow. Cancel culture.
Move on.
Really rapey. Unfortunately rapey.
Disgustingly so.
Yeah, this is just not right. So you people shouldn't be doing this.
What do you mean by you people?
What do you mean by you people?
You rapists should not be doing this.
You rapists should not be doing any of this. How dare you, sir? And, so anyway, fuck, I lost my place doing all that shit. I gotta stop trying to make jokes. Especially ones that don't work. Hold on. Oh, sorry, brisket chili. Heartburn like crazy. So, okay, we're all having a good time here, and I didn't totally lose my place. I just like to sing and dance sometimes.
They make great outtakes, so go for it.
Fuck. Okay, so...
You still there?
I don't know.
Hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Shit.
Hold on. Hello? Hello?
Hey, I lost you when you said 1 minute he's there, and then the next, and then it's just...
Okay, yeah, I could hear you the whole time, so...
Yeah, that happened to us before. All right, let's do one more. We still have
one more.
Yeah, we gotta pad out the episode a little bit. I mean, we talked about The Mandalorian longer than the movie.
Pretty much. Well, just put that in there. Let me find something here.
Oh no, the Mandalorian stuff is still staying.
Awesome.
There's nothing that's really being cut out of this episode other than the behind the scenes planning. Everything else, including this will be in the outtakes. While people are listening to this, they'll be like, "See, he said it, and it's in the outtakes."
Right. Let's see here.
You nearly dying on the microphone as you're having problems with your heartburn? That's going to be in the outtakes.
Trying to see here.
This right now, where you're trying to see here, this will be in the outtakes. The sound of me breathing out with a mouthful of vape, that will be in the outtakes. That silence that just passed, that won't be in the outtakes. That'll get truncated out.
Here we go. All right. Wait, no, never mind. Hold on. That's gonna be a problematic one. We're not gonna go there.
Oh.
Yeah, that one I'm not gonna do. That one can get into weird shit.
Jesus, we didn't even hit a full hour and a half raw recording.
Jesus Christ.
It's going to be under an hour when it's all cut down.
It's a shorter episode this week.
They'll thank us later.
Yeah, right? One of those episodes when we have like a 2-hour long one they have to sit through.
Right, we talk about some genius, brilliant film that we really want to dig into and analyze, and we talk forever and ever, and it's longer than the actual movie itself. Well, in this case, we actually produced an episode that's somewhat shorter and more succinct.
Yeah, I'm just saying, and it'll be a really good movie, and people will be interested in it, but we'll be stuck talking about how one particular grain of sand was probably missing from a particular scene, and we're really just going to go in on that constantly, and that, like, minute fucking no one cares detail, and that's what's going to kill them.
I believe the minutia that we get into for that stupid stuff may be what people listen to this for.
It might be. You might not be wrong. All right, I'm going to stop recording now.